Like, I'd really like to have a black baby boy with a white woman. But how would I know? I just gotta believe her. Like, Nick, you could have a black baby boy with a black woman. Yeah, I could, but I respect black women way too much to do. To try to dazzle my way into their life. But I do. I want a black baby boy. I'd name him Daniel, after Daniel Tshibangu. Y'all know who Daniel Tshibangu is? No one knows. You know who Royal Baby George is? Baby George, the first little next generation of those old royal shitbirds. You guys know what I'm talking about? Baby George. Oh, fuck. There's women in here who sat there and watched that goddamn wedding. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Baby George. The first little... Daniel Tshibangu. Just when you thought the last thing the world needed was another white male, Daniel Tshibangu was born to two African-American, British... Actually, they're not African-American at all. They're Nigerian immigrants who then moved to Great Britain and became citizens. And they had little baby Daniel, just a little white. And he's not albino, whatever the definition of that. Like, he's not. He doesn't have those feelings. Like, he looks like his family, but he's just white. Even his dad's, like, in the picture, like, what the fuck? But he looks just like them. And he was born, like, several weeks before baby George. And I didn't hear anything about it. Like, I heard about him, like, several weeks after baby George was born, because the royal family is like, no. Only baby news coming off this island this summer is the royal baby. But, like, Daniel Tshibangu, he should have been huge news. It's like freaking white people. Like, we're a recessive gene of black people. So, black people, you kind of did it to yourselves. I hope he grows up upstaging baby George their entire lives. Like, I hope he's like a star soccer player and he like takes Aston Villa to the UEFA Champions League. He wins the World Cup for England. And then like when they're 20, he wins the Olympics and he sets a world record in the 100-meter dash and it blows people's minds because he's white, but he's black, but he's white, but he's black. And it's just like, fucking what? Daniel Tshibangu. And Royal Baby George is just, no, yeah. And then at the end, like, yeah, like when he's 23, like he like becomes the youngest prime minister ever elected to parliament or whatever the hell they have over there. And people are just like, Daniel Tshibangu. And baby George is just this 23-year-old spoiled brat, just like, yeah. Daniel Tshibangu, he is magnificent. He's great at everything he does. But let's be honest. He has two black parents. I mean, how many advantages could one boy have? I just come from a long line of inbred lizard people. Like, just... He's got an older black brother named Seth. Poor guy. I feel for him. They're like, Seth, you're going to have a baby brother. He was like, yeah. Like, you got a white baby brother. He was like, fucking hell, Mom. Dad, talk to your wife, mate. Fuck, who's she been shagging? Fucking, she's shagging crackers. I knew it. I wish I had an older black brother. That'd be awesome. So my dad comes to the door. It's a black guy. He's like 6, 7 years older than me. He's like, Jimmy, what's going on, bud? Who's this? He's like, this is James Jr. I was like, actually, you're a James Jr. there, Dad. And he's like, yeah, I know. So what's going on? Well, it turns out I dated James Jr.'s mom here about a year before I met your mom, and 23 and fuck me. I'd like to introduce you to your older brother, James. I'm like, I got an older brother named James. And he's like, that's correct. And he's black. I'm like, that is correct. Like, I got an older black brother named James. He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm calling up my little brother. I called my little brother. I was like, dude, did you hear the news? Dude, we're both little brothers now. We're both little brothers. We got an older black brother. His name's James Jr. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. Hell yeah, we're family now, dude. Hell yeah. I'm doing it. Listen, hey, I'll call you back, man. I got to go. I'm going to get it. Hey, James Jr., come on in, man. I want to hear all about your life. Could you grab that Black Lives Matter sign before you come into the house, though? I got little Nazi kids are running around fucking that shit up.